I'll do a short video today detailing how you connect your wireless in-ear monitors to your mixing console. I hope you enjoy. The items we're going to be using today during this setup: a mixing console, in this case a Yamaha. We're going to use one vocal microphone to test. We're going to be listening to an iPod. The mixing console is going to be connected to the in-ear monitoring system. In this case, it's a Shure PSM-600. The in-ear monitors are coming out of aux send 1, which in this case is right here. The iPod is plugged into 9 and 10. The microphone is plugged into input number 1. Here's a look at the back side of the wireless in-ear transmitter. We're going to be using a TRS to XLR male cable. We're going to go into input number 1, which in this case is the left channel. There's the antenna. There's the input pad on the back of this unit. It's got a choice of +4 and -10. We're running pro level. I'm going to leave that at +4. Here it's got loop out left and right. We're not going to be using that in this situation. Here's our front view of the console. First thing we're going to do is set our level for our vocal microphone. I'll hit the PFL button. I'll grab the gain knob. Check 2. Hey, hey, hey. You can see the PFL is lighting up on the main meter. Hey, 1, 2, 2. Yep. So that looks good. Turn the PFL off. I'm going to check the level now of my iPod. Hit the PFL button. Yeah, my iPod's coming through and the level is probably fine. I can turn it up a little bit. There it goes. Now we're ready to send signal to our wireless unit. If you don't know at this point the layout of generally every console, there's a gain knob up top, EQ section, then your aux sends here. We're going to be sending a signal from our microphone to the aux send. Same thing with our iPod. It's going to be coming. We're going to send it out of the aux send, in this case aux 1, to our wireless in-ears. Here's a detail potting up aux 1 for the vocal microphone. Looking at the front of the wireless transmitter, we're going to look at these LEDs as they light up. We're seeing signal now. Now I'm going to pot up my microphone in there, 50%. Hey, 2. Hey, 1, 2. 1, 2. Pause the iPod. Now you can see, as I'm talking into the microphone, the LEDs are blinking in correspondence. So now we're getting signal, and now you can use aux 1 knob on your mixer to adjust the ratio of level from the iPod to the microphone. Now you can make the ratio however you want, so you can hear your vocal and the music at the same time. If you're running into problems with the setup, always remember that most consoles have an aux send master volume. In this case, it's right here next to the meters, and it says send aux 1 and aux 2, and there's a hash mark here at 75%, which is unity gain. So to start off, turn your auxes to that hash mark at 75% on this board. Here's a detail of the cable that I use for this connection. Most of your small format mixing consoles, all the aux sends are on a TRS balanced 1/4 inch output. This wireless transmitter has 1/4 inch and XLR inputs. In this case, we're using the XLR. So the cable that I'm using is a 1/4 inch TRS to a male XLR. This is a 6-footer. If it's too short, you can extend it with a normal XLR cable. If you're not familiar with a TRS cable, it looks a lot like a guitar cable, but you'll notice there's 3 bands. There's a tip, a ring, and a sleeve. This is a balanced cable, whereas a guitar cable is not. A guitar cable is high Z or high impedance. This is a low impedance design. Let's look at an alternate setup. Let's say you're the drummer in a band. You've got an iPod or a laptop computer that's playing a click track. You want to hear the click and send the click to the console. To save you some wiring or some headache, here's a way you can wire this in your unit to do what you want to do. This same setup will work if you're the keyboardist in a band. You don't sing, but you play keyboard or an electronic instrument. You don't need vocals in your mix. This is what you can do if you only want to hear yourself. You take your source, which is either your keyboard or your iPod or your laptop computer, plug it into the inputs on the back, and then come out of the loop out, left or right. In this case, we're just going to do 1. Using the same cable, a TRS to XLR male, we will now take the XLR side and plug it into one of the inputs on the console. Now we'll have the signal from our iPod, our laptop, or our keyboard going right to our ears. We'll be unable to add any other sounds in, but we'll be able to hear ourselves, and in some cases that's all you need.